isn't a bop though, my goodness. The entire story is bop, bro. When do we find out who the fuck these people are? Do they just, low-key, I have a theory that they just added random motherfuckers in the opening animation to just be like, oh, they'll be confused, but they actually don't exist. Like, I'll bet you these motherfuckers don't even exist in the story. They just added them into the opening animation to be like, whoa. Like, who are these motherfuckers, man? So much better than the last opening, by the way. Last opening was shit. Yeah, chapter 4's OP was ass. Alright. Those characters are exclusive to the console-only arcs? Then why the fuck are they in this animation? Like, I'm over here waiting. It's like, when are these guys gonna show up? Oh, maybe that's like Satoshi's friends, or maybe that's like from Shion's old school. I don't. Turns out none of those are probably true. All right, here we go. Yo, they got spoopy tip music in this chapter. Is this game good? It's not just a game. It's a story. For all of mankind. Wait, is this the song? Oh, this is the song. It's just like a different version. Oh. Yeah, this is not just a story. It's a lesson. It's a livelihood, you know? It's like any video game you've played. What? You played Expedition 33? This is like 10 times better. Alright, Expedition 33 devs wish they could craft a story like this. Yep. Alright. Hold up. Base salt? I don't wait. No. Well, no. Alright. The day. Oh shit, bro. We're at Watanagashi. Oh, it's about to go down. June 20th, 1982, 1:40 p.m. Shion's about to kill someone, bro. What was I doing today? Nothing in particular. Nothing at all. I just wanted to play hooky. I woke up in the afternoon. I ate instant food for lunch while watching boring TV programs. I had a light headache, so I lay down on the sofa. I wouldn't wake up again if I went to sleep. Whatever. I decided to sleep. I'd already told Sis that Satoshi-kun had asked her to look after Satoko. I didn't have to do anything myself. I fell asleep, though my head was aching a little bit. That would be all I'd have to deal with. So Shion did get me onto 5:02 p.m. The aunt believed that all the villagers frowned upon her because her brother-in-law and his wife were pro-damn activists. She surely experienced some fallout during the time of the dispute. But people had stopped looking coldly upon her, even though she assumed otherwise. She was paranoid, believing that all the villagers hated her. And so she decided to hate them back. Her attitude, of course, begot hatred from the villagers, and the situation became exactly the way she thought it was from the start. What came first, their poor relationships with the neighbors, or her husband's affair? She didn't know herself. Her husband claimed that he got a lover because he was fed up with her attitude. She in turn claimed that their relationship with the neighbors went sour because her husband had damaged her reputation. Only Satoshi was aware that both happened at almost the same time. Their quarrels had become a daily routine now. When the husband came home late, the wife would shout at him at the entrance. Satoshi wondered why they didn't get a divorce, their marriage being as rotten as it was. But he secretly knew the reason for that too. It was a fortune his parents had left. His aunt had hidden their bank book and stamp and never allowed her husband access to them. So her husband would search the house for them. She'd find out he stole some money from her purse. This would cause yet another fight. Satoshi had never been aware that his parents had that much money when they were alive. After their death, however, one of his relatives told him. He was informed that his parents had left a large sum of money in some bank account. Satoshi couldn't understand why they had that kind of money because his family had been, as far as he knew, poor. It was because of the dam project. His parents probably got the money in return for their cooperation with the government. They had strived to get more villages on their side, provided information to them, and whatnot. The money was probably compensation for their efforts. His aunt and uncle never had any intentions to adopt them until they heard about the money. After someone from some financial institution revealed its existence, they appeared to adopt Satoko and Satoshi. The couple would fight every day. Eventually, Satoshi's uncle started spending more time at his mistress's home. He realized that he had no reason to return to his own home, because he'd just end up in a fight with his wife if he did. When he stopped coming home, Satoshi felt relieved. Neither their uncle nor their aunt treated the two siblings very well. Satoshi's aunt wouldn't have to vent her frustration upon them. The reason the couple fought was their corrupted relationship, so if they separated, there wouldn't be any more fights. Satoshi had thought that at first. But even after they separated, his aunt still had a short temper. Another woman had stolen her husband. The villagers must have been talking behind her back. It was mortifyingly embarrassing. Since she lost an opponent to fight, Satoshi's aunt directed her hatred toward the siblings. Satoshi had been observing her. He learned when she would get upset and how to avoid her attention. He managed to get by without upsetting her by turning a keen eye to her behavior and avoiding conflicts. But Satoko couldn't do that. She hated her aunt and didn't even try to hide it. Satoshi told her to behave in her aunt's presence, but her eyes were always filled with hatred. Satoshi strived to reduce the conflict between them as much as possible. He stepped in to mend their relationship. It was a heavy burden for him, though, because he was still just a boy. He bore so much. He covered for his little sister by lying and maneuvering. He tried to maintain a tangible sense of peace, but he couldn't do that forever. The relationship between Satoko and her aunt had already spiraled out of control. Satoshi found something in the trash. It probably wasn't a legitimate place for trash disposal. If it was, sanitation workers would come and pick it up. He passed by the street all the time, so he noticed when there were new things dumped there. He'd found a plain-looking desk of the kind likely to be seen in offices. Somebody must have dumped it within the past few days. His aunt liked to bring usable trash home. What the fuck? His aunt is Rena? She'd had Satoshi help bring a chest home just a few days ago. If he told her about the desk, she'd want it. His aunt hated to find bugs and garbage in the drawers, so she'd always open them to check before carrying the thing home. Satoshi opened all the drawers, all of which were empty. After that, he turned around and walked for about 5 steps. He was standing in a knee-high bush. There he laid something he'd been carrying all the time until today. The bat? It'd be very hard to find unless you specifically knew it was there to begin with. Looking satisfied, Satoshi looked around for some landmark to remember the place by. Or maybe a shovel. Or a hatchet. June 20th, 1982.
Hey, Oyaji! 今年も来たね。また根こそぎかっさらってくから覚悟。いやその崎のお嬢ちゃんは今年も元気がいいな。あ、そっちの子は新顔かい？この子はね、竜宮レナ。こう見えてても結構やるよ。そんなことないよ。よろしくお願いしますね。おう、こっちこそよろしくな。今年もいろいろ景品を持ってきたんだぜ。もちろん真剣勝負だ。根こそぎ持ってけるもんなら持ってけってんだ。レナは可愛いものには目がないのですよ。ああ、あのぬいぐるみとそっちのぬいぐるみはレナの好みだね。
This seems like the timeline where Keiichi got teleported, where he tried to save Satoko, but Satoko didn't go, and everybody said Keiichi had a really good time. But it's probably Satoshi that had a good time, and Keiichi actually just swapped places with Satoko. No. I have a theory that Keiichi actually just swapped places when he time traveled, and he just swapped places with Satoshi. Satoshi isn't in this festival, then how are we getting this POV? Because this entire POV so far has been Satoshi.
ダメだよ。まだ準備中だよ。おい。
レナ、ダメ。まだ準備中だってさ。
Wait, true. Satoshi said he wouldn't be there.
ちゃんと回転したら
So
根
where's
こそぎ
Satoko?
さらってやりな。
もうダメだよ。レナのものなんだよ。お持ち帰り。
Rena lost her marbles over the stuffed animal. Everybody laughed. Oh, there's Satoko. Okay, so this is a different timeline. So she was standing by herself some distance from the crowd. Her eyes looked dull.
なんなんですのリカ。
Rika walked up to Satoko, smiling ear to ear in an effort to cheer her up.
今日は何も考えなくていいのですよ。いっぱい楽しく過ごしましょうなのです。
Satoko looked down. Even if she got to have fun today, her circumstances at home wouldn't change.
さとこ、意地悪なおばさんは今日はお祭りには来ませんですよ。そんなことは分かってますわ。ならいっぱい笑っていっぱい楽しくなるのですよ。ニパー。
Nipa! We haven't heard a Nipa in like fucking 2 chapters. Or no, I guess we heard it a lot last chapter.
ニパ
Because she died.
ー。ニパー。あいにくですけど、そういう気分になれませんの。申し訳ございませんけど、放っておいてくださいませ。どうしてさとこは笑いませんですか？
Satoko sulkily glimpsed at Rika. She gave her a look, as though she wanted to say that Rika should know the reason. Even if she could have fun today, nothing would change between her and her evil aunt. No matter how fun the festival was, when she went home, her aunt would be there. The aunt would find something wrong with Satoko, get mad, and shout at her so loudly that the neighbors would hear. How can she have fun, even just for today, while knowing all that? Satoko didn't say that out loud, but her eyes betrayed her emotions to Rika.
ではさとこの辛いのが今日でおしまいになるなら、
Oh
さとこ
shit.
は笑ってくれますですか？
Satoko gasped. Because Rika technically knows the prophecy, right? She knows who's gonna die and when. She thought that Rika might do something to help. Soon after, she realized that Rika was just trying to comfort her. Could her suffering end today? Because of Rika? How? Satoko knew that there was really nothing Rika could do. And so after just one moment of freedom, Satoko fell into depression again.
リカ、くだらない気休めは聞きたくないですわ。さとこ。
Rika's voice was clearer than Satoko had ever heard before. Oh shit.
もう決まっていることなのです。
Satoshi snuck out the window after supper. He heard the distant ruckus of the festival. The festival would end at 9 p.m. After the Watanagashi ceremony, there was going to be a raffle drawing. So there were 2 types of people in Hinamizawa. The people who would go home for dinner and the ones who would stay until the raffle was over. Either relaxing at home or still at the festival, there were only 2 patterns. On top of that, there weren't many neighbors in the vicinity of Satoshi's house. As a result, he found nobody on the streets. On that night, the small village seemed especially desolate. Satoshi knew it was going to be like this, but he knew he would keep worrying until he saw it for himself. He was barefooted, but started running without hesitation. He felt as though he'd become a wild animal running on his bare feet. He got the impression that he could run faster than usual. Not only his running ability, his vision, his hearing, and his sense of smell, all his senses were keener, including his 6th sense. He could almost sense the presence of people in the distance, if only when crouching like an animal. It felt strange, as though he had stepped into another world. He'd been feeling tense and anxious until today, battling with his own fear. But now he felt as though he had metamorphosed into a different person. June 20th, 1982, 8:37.
それではお楽しみ抽選会の説明をこれより始めますので、どうぞ皆さん櫓の周りにお集まりくださいな。
Festival had reached its climax. The raffle was going to start. Both the women who were dancing and those who were waiting for the raffle gathered around at the altar. This was the first time they'd held a raffle. The planning committee decided to hold one from this year onwards to attract more people to the festival. At first, the prizes were things the committee members had donated, but Oryu, not appreciating how pathetic they looked, had them thrown away. Oryu took the initiative and bought a brand new TV, a washing machine, and a cooling fan, and other such things for the raffle. The committee wanted to keep it small initially, but it turned out big thanks to her. Oryu was upset because the committee members weren't enthusiastic enough in her opinion. Some of the members thought it would be very difficult to prepare prizes of equal value the following year, so this might be the very first and last raffle.
お嬢さんのおかげで本当なすんばらしい商品になったね。だいぶかかったんじゃないの？運営費で立て替えするよ。
すったらうな程度で立て替えなんてアホらしい。銭金の問題じゃないんね。たく。
まあまあそう言わないで。お嬢さんのおかげでできた抽選会なんだから。
こんな私一人でどうにかすりゃええんちゅうわけとちゃいなや。パホクサ。
The mayor, Kimiyoshi, was having a tough time pacifying Oryu. All of a sudden, one of the committee members burst into the tent in a rush. He looked upset, so Kimiyoshi assumed that somebody probably got hurt in an accident.
どうしたの牧野さん。そんなに息を弾ませたら心臓が破れちゃうよ。
Kimiyoshi made a joke to calm him down. Makino, however, still looked tense. He whispered something to Kimiyoshi. Even without hearing the exchange between Makino and Kimiyoshi, it was plain as day there was bad news.
お嬢さん、悪い話なんだけどいいかい？
Kimiyoshi, accompanied by Makino, moved to Oryu's side and spoke in a very serious tone. Kimiyoshi whispered to her the exact same words Makino told him.
いや参ったよな。
参るも参らんもなんね。3度あっちゃんは4度あるっちゅうこっちゃな。
お嬢さん、そりゃ笑えないや。
面白い話でもなんでもなぎゃ。面倒が増えただけっちゃね。
警察が今身元を調べてるらしい。どうも相当顔面をやられてるらしくて、身元の特定が難しそうなんだと。
顔がわからんでも。
え？心当たりがあるのかい？
Oryu glared at Kimiyoshi, then started chuckling.
バカが綿流しの祭りにも顔を見せん。ちゃんとお社様を敬って祭りに来ちょるんは。そんな目には合わなんとよ。
Oryu kept laughing. Kimiyoshi and Makino didn't know how to react to that. June 29 p.m.
しかし、
おいしい。
こりゃ無残なもんっすね。
クマちゃん、死に方ってのは本人が望んだものでない限り、どんなでも無残なもんです。お悔やみ申し上げちゃいますよ。そっちどう？ポッケの中身とか個人が特定できそうなものは？
Forensic investigators shook their
サン
heads.
ダル履きで服装もラフ。近くにお住まいの方でしょうね。服装の特徴から周辺に聞き込みをすればすぐに割れそうっすね。
それしかないな。課長からこの山一口さしてかかりそうだからって脅されてます。その辺注意してくださいよ。
了解っす。
Kumagai gathered some officers and gave them
入江
direction.
先生が到着しました。先生、あそこです。
The young doctor got out of his car and headed in the victim's direction.
どうも、遅れて申し訳ありません。抽選会の手伝いの最中だったもので。
先生、今日の祭りでだいぶ飲んでたでしょう。アルコール本当に抜けてます？後で 風船でも膨らましてもらっちゃおうかな。
ご安心を。運転はスタッフに代わってもらってますので。
そりゃそつがない。おい、先生通してあげて。
There was an area cordoned off with blue plastic sheets. An officer rolled up the sheet and let Oishi and Irie pass. The forensic people were taking photos from many different angles. Blood splatters and the bloody sandals were left untouched, marked with chalk and indicated with small alphabetized plates.
こういうものは見慣れませんね。
Irie took out a handkerchief and covered his
匂
nose.
いがダメな時は口呼吸にするんですよ。まあこういう匂いは目でも嗅げちゃうかな。ね。
The body appeared to be that of a middle-aged woman. It was soaked in blood. It looked like a middle-aged woman because of the hair and what she was wearing. Reason why no one could be certain it was a middle-aged woman was because its face was completely pulverized.
ひどい。
十中八九怨恨の線でしょうな。結婚とサンダル裏から見てここで殺したのは間違いないでしょ
But why would she come out here?
う。でも見ての通りここは人通りが少ないと言ったって往来のど真ん中です。ここで頭部がひしゃげるまで殴り続けたってのはちょいとまともな話じゃないですからね。でね、ほら腕とか見てみてください。
Oishi put on latex gloves and lifted the corpse's arm.
ん？腕は綺麗なもんでしょ
う。それはつまり腕で防いだとか抵抗したとかそういう痕跡がないという意味ですね。
さすが高学歴。仏さんはおそらく最初の一撃で脳震盪かなんかで気絶したんじゃないかと思うんです。で、推しは確実に殺した手応えを得るためにさらに打撃を加えた。さらに言えば仏さんはその時うつ伏せに倒れたように思うんですよね。ねえ、服の汚れ具合からの勘ですが。
遺体は仰向けですね。
星は後頭部を散々潰して明らかに頭蓋骨が砕けてる手応えを得ているにもかかわらずわざわざ顔面を潰してるんじゃないかと思うんですよ。
Irie looked like he was going to throw up, both because of the putrid smell and Oishi's reasoning.
遺体の顔面を殴るってのは私の経験じゃかなり怨恨の線が強いです。それもだいぶ濃厚な濃密なね。ってことはつまり星は仏のかなり近辺にいるのは間違いないかと。
私を呼んだのが救命活動ではないということは。
先生、この人が誰かわかりますかね。わかれば聞き込みの手間がだいぶ省けるんですがね。
Irie looked at the body once again. He looked away quickly and thought. Then after a while, Irie left the investigation area without saying anything.
すみません。私には分かりかねます。
本当に？
Oishi smirked and looked into Irie's eyes, as though Irie was hiding something.
別に隠してなんかいません。
先生もアルコールがまだ抜けきってないだけですよ。頭が冴えたら思い出すかもしれません。思い出したら教えてくださいね。
Oishi tapped Irie on the back. The doctor saying he wanted some fresh air left the scene. Kumagai
おい
returned.
さん、課長から無線です。1号車の無線っす。
入江の先生ごまかしたな。いえ仏の聞き込み急いでください。ほぼ間違いなくこの近くにお住まいです。
9:39 p.m.
おいさん、連れてきました。
どうもどうも。こんな夜更けに申し訳ありませんね。
You brought Satoshi?
明日も学校なのに本当に申し訳ないです。
いえ、
お父さんはどちらへ？
うちの寄付はあまり帰ってきませんので。
おお、いつ頃から？最後に帰ってきたのはいつ？
さあ、義母と喧嘩しているのを 聞く限りは。最後に会ったのはあまり覚えてないんですけど、先々週。
お父さんの連絡先はわかります？
Oh, Oishi might. Is Oishi suspecting Satoshi or the stepfather?
いえ。
Or I guess the unc.
キャバレーの人と同居してるって言いましたよね。なんてお店かわかります？
いえ、沖宮のどこかにあるとしか知りません。
お父さんの名前は？
北条哲平です。
Oishi signaled Kumagai with his chin, who nodded while taking notes.
お父さんとお母さんはあまり仲良くなかったですか？
程度の度合いはわかりませんが、よくはなかったと思います。
率直に聞いて申し訳ないですけど、お母さんに恨みを持っていた人間とか知っていたら教えてほしいんですがね。
よくわからないです。
そうですか。じゃあもしも思い出したらでいいので、その時は教えてくださいね。これ私の名刺です。ここに電話番号ありますので。
はい。
じゃあ後日またいろいろとお話を伺うこともあるかもしれません。もしもお父さんと連絡がつきましたら、沖宮警察署の大石まで至急ご連絡をとお伝えください。くまちゃん。
いえ、一人で帰れますから。
いえ、そんなこと言わずにぜひ送らせてくださいな。お母さんを襲った犯人がまだ近くにいる可能性があるんですよ。あなたもまた狙われない保証なんてないんですからね。
お気遣いありがとうございます。でも本当に結構ですね。
I think that makes him more suspicious, Satoshi. You need to. Satoshi tried to reject the offer, but Oishi and Kumagai insisted. In the end, Satoshi was forced to accept. He turned around to leave. When Oishi spoke to him as if he remembered something he'd forgotten to say.
北条さん。
はい。
大丈夫ですよ。心配しないでください。犯人はすぐに捕まりますよ。
I think he's doing that to scare.
手がかりとかあるんですか？
ありますよ。
どんなですか？
捜査上の秘密ですよ。
This motherfucker. Ordinary people might think that Oishi was trying to cheer the poor kid up with a joke.
人を殺すってのはかなり感情の高ぶるもんなんですよ。そりゃ冷静に殺してみせるロボットみたいなのも
感情が高ぶると何かわかるんですか？
人は極限まで感情が高ぶるといろいろ体に反応が出ます。発汗とか脱毛とかね。殺人現場に犯人の毛髪が落ちているってことは割とあることなんですよ。まあここは屋外ですからね。現場が絨毯の上ってのとはだいぶ勝手が違いますが。
犯人の毛髪は
さあね。鑑識の連中が大列組んでさっきから行ったり来たりしていろいろ探してます。まだ結果待ちでね。何が出るやら今から楽しみですよ。
Why do I feel like Satoshi didn't kill the aunt? Because I feel like it's too obvious.
明日があるので今夜はもう帰ります。
そうなさってください。クマちゃん、送ってあげてください。
No, I'm telling you, I still think it's Shion.
では北条さん、また近いうちに進展があったらお知らせしますよ。北条さんも何か思い出したりしたらぜひ教えてくださいね。憎き母の仇の逮捕に協力してまいりましょう。
Oh boy. Sis called the morning after Watanagashi Festival to tell me that the curse had struck again for the 4th time. The victim was the evil aunt who was harassing Satoshi-kun and Satoko. Satoshi-kun's suffering should be over now, since the problem was with Satoko and the aunt's relationship to begin with. Maybe I should have celebrated, but I wasn't in the mood for some
犯
reason.
人ってもう警察は目星をつけてるのかな。
Why would Shion care about that? Why would Shion, if she should be celebrating, why does she want to know if the police have a lead? Sis went quiet when I asked that.
さあね。
Why not?
大石の野郎がしつこく聞き込みをして回ってるみたい。犯人は近しい人間に違いないと思ってるようだね。
No, I just said I think it was Shion. Being identical twins, Sis and I think very much alike. If I suspect Satsuki of being a murderer, so would she. Because of this, I didn't have to mention the
サ
obvious.
トシ君って祭りの日にアリバイあります？
ああ、どうだろう。
はあ、
I heaved a huge
バカ
sigh.
ですね。サトシ君は祭りに来ていた。そういうことでいいじゃないですか。
そうだよね。気が利かなくてごめん。
Wouldn't this mean that maybe when Keiichi went to kill the fucking aunt? Or the uncle? When he thought there was the village just covering up for him? You know how he approached Satoko and everybody? It's like, I wasn't there. Who was there? What is this other Keiichi that was having fun with you guys? It was actually them just covering up for him. Sis was stupid enough to forget to make an alibi for him, even though the murder of his aunt alone would have raised enough suspicion.
じゃあ、やっぱり、サトシが？
サトシ君が殺したかどうかが問題じゃないでしょ？
No, it's not Keiichi alternate universe theory. It's just how Hinamizawa deals with covering up for people within the village. They just create this second reality to cover up for them.
サトシ君が犯行の時
In
間
their
帯に
heads, not an
アリ
actual
バイがあっ
separate
たかが重要
reality.
なんです。ったく。
後で警察がうちに来るみたいだから、来たらサトシは祭りで一緒だったって言うよ。
おねえ、取ってつけた嘘なんか何の役にも立たないです。何も手を打たなかったなら、今さら小細工しても無駄ってことです。せいぜい正直に喋ってください。
I feel like, see, this is what I'm saying. Mion doesn't see. I feel like Shion and Mion were not the people that we thought they were. I'm telling you, it's Shion. Shion's a fucking psychopath.
お姉は芝居が下手なんだから、変に意識するとかえって勘ぐられますからね。
ごめん。
She sounded depressed. I was the one who should have been depressed. Mion usually handles things well, but she's not too good with emergencies. I was left worried for the future of the Sonozaki family. Mion must have been embarrassed. Soon she changed the subject.
シオン、最近はあまりバイトに行けてなかったでしょ。
ご検察痛み入ります。おかげさまで。
ごめん。今日は私、夜まで姿を隠してるから、バイトに出られるんじゃない？
Sis had been appearing in public places during festival preparation and whatnot. As a result, I hadn't been able to pretend to be her. I hadn't been able to work. As someone who had to support myself, it was a bit of a pain. To be honest, I didn't feel like working, but I couldn't afford to be sitting around either. When I locked my apartment door before leaving, the door of the next apartment over opened and Kasai appeared.
シオンさん、お出かけですか？
そんなとこです。お姉が姿を隠してくれるそうなんで、久々にバイトに出ます。カサイ、暇だったらおじさんの店まで車を出してもらってもいい？
You think the bodyguard that was with quote-unquote Shion when she lost her mind and was having traumatic experience or like memories, in that apartment and jumped off, it was Kasai?
シオンさん、しばらくはバイトを控えられた方がよろしくはないですか。事件のせいで警察は園崎家界隈を監視しているようですし、あまり姿を
No, they didn't
表に
mention
出
that
さ
it
ない
was
方が
Kasai.
いい
They
ので
just
はないか
mentioned
と
there was
思います。
a bodyguard for the Sonozakis.
お気遣いは嬉しいけど、バイトしないと食費もないわけですし。
Kasai might suggest he donate money to my cause. However, I had sworn to myself when I started living here that I wouldn't depend on Kasai. While I don't obey anybody else's rules, I stick to my own. Kasai could tell that I was adamant in my decision. So after repeating himself a couple of times as a formal procedure, he decided to give me a ride after all. Every time we went to my uncle's store by car, we stopped at this traffic light. I knew it was going to happen again, but it still irritated me. Pedestrians passed by in front of the car. I was startled to see that one of them looked like Satoshi-kun. It was him. Though I'd spoken with him on the phone just a couple days before, it'd been a while since I saw him last.
悪いけどおじさんに、やっぱ今日のバイトは行けなくなったって伝えてくれる？私、ここで降ります。
え？シオンさん。
Kasai looked taken aback, but I got out of the car regardless. The light turned green. The car behind him honked while Kasai was shouting at me, so he had to start moving. Satoshi-kun was on his bike, but he was going really slowly. I caught up with him in a flash and tapped him on the back.
ハロロー。沖宮で会うなんて奇遇ですね、サトシ君。
If I talked to him with a smile, he might smile back, so I smiled as brightly as I could.
Mion.
He looked tired as always, but as I could tell, he was trying to smile back. My worry suddenly disappeared. I was certain I looked happy. I was aware of that myself, so it must have been obvious to Satoshi-kun.
何があったか知らないけど、ミオンが楽しそうだね。
ええ、楽しいですよ。サトシ君の機嫌が良さそうなので、私も釣られて機嫌が良くなっただけです。
When I teased him, he looked a bit embarrassed. It was like we were back in the good old days. I felt even happier than before. Oh God.
サトシ君こそ、何かあったんですか？何か機嫌が良くなるようないいことがありましたか？
いいことなんかないよ。おばさんが亡くなって、警察とかご近所とか、いろいろ大変だよ。
I might have asked something dumb. He seemed to be okay with it though. He'd frowned a bit at first, but Satoshi-kun continued smiling gently. He looked worn out but satisfied, like he had accomplished something great. That was the mood I sensed from him. So I was convinced the one who killed that wicked aunt who tormented Satoko was him. I had absolutely no proof, but I knew it intuitively. So I omitted all those questions. I knew Satoshi-kun's motive for killing his aunt and how badly he was driven into a corner. I knew the environment and situation he was in. And I knew Satoshi-kun's feelings. I knew all of that. No, Satoshi didn't appear until a couple days after Watanagashi. After Satoko's birthday. So I omitted all those questions. Or on Satoko's birthday, I forget. I wanted to celebrate his release from that curse, so I smiled like nothing was different as I asked.
サトシ君はどこかへお出かけですか？あ、バイトかな？
正解。その前に寄り道なんだけどね。
寄り道？
毎日ちゃんとショーケースにあるのを確認しないとなんだか不安で。
It's probably his money. That conversation reminded me. The reason he started his part-time job was to buy Satoko a huge teddy bear. It was being sold at the toy store just down the street. I recalled that the teddy bear was very expensive. Satoko's birthday was right after the festival. I wasn't sure what day though. Wait, didn't he say he quit his job? Maybe he was going to greet his ex-coworkers and clean out his locker or something. Either way, he'd be completely free very soon. Maybe he hadn't been paid yet. That's why he wanted to check if they still had the teddy bear. Maybe he was only getting paid on Satoko's birthday. When we got near the toy store, he rushed to the display window. He looked relieved that it hadn't been sold yet.
よかった、大丈夫。ちゃんとあるよ。
買えるだけのお金は稼げてるわけですよね。なら予約とかしちゃえばいいのに。
もう。
He probably hadn't thought of that. He really did need someone to look after him. I looked into the display window over his shoulder. The Teddy bear wasn't that cute in my opinion. It looked huge and cramped in the middle of the store's showcase. Really, it looked like a display model than an item for sale.
値札がついてないけど、これ本当に売り物なんですか？これ一体いくらするんです？
売り物なのは確認したから間違いないよ。
値段は？予算は大丈夫？
大丈夫だよ。ちゃんと確認してあるよ。
I have a theory right now, but I need to see more evidence. Satoshi thought I was teasing him again. He pouted and looked a little
予算が
sulky.
大丈夫なら問題ないじゃないですか。なら予約しちゃいましょう。その方がサトシくんも心の荷が下りていいでしょうしね。
We entered the store and looked for a clerk.
誰もいないのかな。
そりゃ好都合です。サトシくん、お給料日を待たずにぬいぐるみ
Happy
が手に
6
入るかもで
months
す
for
ね。
but can't
Six
wait to see
months.
the V3 stream in 2028.
Klugi.
ダメだよミオン。
冗談ですって。軽く受け流してほしかったんだけどな。ひょっとして私が盗っ人の真似を平気でできる女だと思ってます？
ごめん。
Satoshi-kun smiled apologetically. I puffed up my cheeks to tease him. It had really been a while since the last time we did this. In between those times, many undesirable things happened that I wanted to forget. But now I felt as though all those things simply vanished into the air around us. I found an old person napping in the back. He must be the clerk, I thought. He looked to be fast
す
asleep.
みません。お店の方ですよね。
I poked his shoulder, but he didn't look like he was going to wake up. When I did that, a middle-aged woman wearing an apron
お
came
じ
in.
いちゃん、店番頼んだのにすっかり眠りしちゃって。お客さん来てるってのにもうごめんなさいね。うちのおじいちゃんももうすっかりボケちゃって。
The middle-aged woman shook the old man awake and told him to go back to the living room. She went to the cash register after that.
お恥ずかしいところ見せちゃってごめんなさいね。何かお買い上げ？
買うんじゃなくて予約なんですけど、あのショーケースの中の一番大きいぬいぐるみなんですけど。
あれ？いいの？値札見た？かなり高いけどお小遣い大丈夫？
はい、ギリギリ足りるはずです。
もうすぐバイトのお給料が入るそうなので、それまで予約したいんですけど。
The woman looked a bit hesitant at first, but she eventually wrote down Satoshi's name and accepted the reservation. Satoshi-kun received the slip of paper.
これでもう誰かに先に買われちゃう心配はもう必要ありません。
お給料がもらえるのはもうすぐなんだけどね。これで安心できる。
Should have kept coming to check every day if he hadn't done this now. He would have spent this time needlessly worrying. Satoshi-kun looked very relieved indeed.
これならもっと早くに予約をしていればよかったな。
普通の人は欲しいと思ったら即予約します。そういう思考に至らないサトシ君はちょいと希少です。
It's so very fun to tease him. Those painful days seem unbelievable now. Satoshi-kun looked like he'd forgotten everything that had happened until yesterday.
でもありがとう。
Oh god, here comes a fucking head pat and she's gonna fucking lose it. Satoshi-kun held out his hand to touch my head. Was he going to stroke it? I felt my face reddening already. Even before he touched my head, I felt tingly, remembered the last time. I didn't care about the murder or whatever else happened. As long as Satoshi-kun had his freedom, everything would be alright. I'd be content as long as we could live happily from today onwards. But Satoshi-kun's hand never reached my head. I slowly opened my eyes only to realize that the situation had drastically changed. There were 4 men in suits blocking our way. It looked as though they'd been waiting for us to exit the toy store.
どうもどうも。
Ah, shit. The Reaper is here. The agent of Oyashiro-sama. The oldest of the four men stepped forward while smirking. I never met this man, but it looked like he knew both Mion and Satoshi-kun. He was probably a cop. I ran a search for information in my head and found some right
こ
away.
んにちは。北条さん、園崎さん。いい雰囲気だったところを邪魔しちゃって実に申し訳ないです。
This must be Crowdo Oishi, a cop who's investigating a series of mysterious deaths. He thinks that the Sonozaki family is behind all of the cases. In other words, he's an enemy of the Sonozaki family. He had deep connections with other investigation divisions in the police force and likes to nose around the business in this area. He annoys the Sonozaki family enough as it is by interfering with its Yakuza business, let alone his suspicions on a series of mysterious deaths. Naturally, as the family's successor, he's not a welcome figure to Mion Sonozaki. I tried to imagine how Sis would react.
ありゃ、大石さんですか。お仕事ご苦労様です。大の大人が4人も揃って、おもちゃ屋さんに何かご用で？まさかお人形さん買いに来たってわけでもあるまいに。
I know what they want, and it's not a toy. It's probably not me either. They want Satoshi-kun. I took a look at Satoshi-kun. He seemed a bit uncomfortable. Or actually, they want Shion. And that the reason why some random drug addict became the fucking person accused of it was because they needed to cover up for the Sonozaki family. So they... and then Satoshi had actually just ran away the whole time like he planned. The other three cops loosely surrounded us to prevent our escape.
北条さん、実はですね、ちょいと伺いたいお話がありまして。
Fuck, I mean, imagine if I was right though. Wouldn't that be an insane cook?
何それ？任意同行ってやつ？サトシ君、こんなのに付き合う必要ないよ。行こう。
I pushed on his shoulder, but he just stood there looking pale and bewildered. Bewildered? No, he actually looked resigned. Then, I recalled Sis's mistake. It's obvious that he killed his aunt from the circumstances. You don't even have to look at the crime scene. How could Mion have failed to create an alibi? That stupid Mion must have spoken to the police without making anything up at all. She must have not told them that she knew where Satoshi-kun was. If she hadn't done anything, the villagers wouldn't work to help her. It was just a matter of time until the police uncovered Satoshi-kun's complete lack of an alibi. The police were trying to corner him and lead him to confess. I looked at Satoshi-kun's face once again. He looked like a dead man. He probably didn't know he could refuse to be interrogated. If he was taken to the station, grilled by Oishi, he'd confess in a minute. Somebody had to protect him. Nobody had ever been there for him. I had to step up now. But how? Would it be possible to alter what Mion had already told them, saying it was a mistake? That wasn't going to work. If I had more time, I'd come up with an excellent idea, but I didn't have that much time at all. To pressure him, the cops were drawing nearer. Satoshi-kun must have felt intimidated. He might end up turning himself in due to the pressure while I'm stuck trying to cover up with something. I have to do something now. I have to say something. Otherwise, Satoshi-kun might give in. I have to save him. Oishi drew nearer. Satoshi-kun fell back.
大して時間は取らせませんから、そんな怖がらないでください。
It won't take much time. He just said it. He just said he wouldn't let him out if he caught him now. Satoshi-kun, don't give in. If you give in now, everything you've been working for will be ruined. Satoshi-kun looked like he was at his breaking point. Oishi was clearly aware of it. Oishi smirked and held out his arm to grab Satoshi-kun's shoulder. I felt electrified when I saw that. That hand shouldn't be allowed to touch Satoshi-kun. The moment Oishi touched his shoulder, he'd give in. He'd go to the police station and confess everything.
サトシ君にアリバイがあるか知りたいわけですよね。
Oishi turned his face toward me. His hand left hanging in the air. I wasn't very prepared for this. I just had to stop Oishi no matter what. I only need to gain some time. It didn't really matter what I said.
そうですよ。北条聡さんのアリバイが知りたいんです。な私たちの捜査がまずいからなのかな。仕方ないから 恥を忍んでご本人に直接そのあたりをお伺いしようかと思いましてね。
そんなの本人に聞く必要ないです。私がアリバイ証明しますから。
ありゃ、そりゃほんとなら助かるな。あの晩園崎さんが神社にいてお祭りの最後まで過ごしていたことはすでにあなたからも聞いているし、そのあなたがそこで北条さんとも一緒だったと言ってくれるなら一番楽なんですがね。でもあんた、以前そのあたりをお聞きしたとき、北条さんのことは一言も言ってませんよね。
How the fuck is she gonna bullshit her way out of this?
実はいましてって、今頃おっしゃるおつもりで？祭り会場の誰一人、北条さんを見ていないのに、あなただけは見ていたとそうおっしゃるおつもりで？
そうです。私と一緒にいました。それで十分です。
あなたが仲良しのお友達と終始一緒にいたのは分かっているし、私もそれでも一緒にいたとおっしゃるわけで。そいつはちょっと苦しくない？ん
Oishi approached me with a creepy smile. Was he teasing me because my excuses sounded dumb? I didn't think so. He was frustrated due to being interrupted when he was about to catch a big fish.
祭り会場でずっと一緒に遊んでたのに、すっかり忘れてて今頃になって思い出したと、そうおっしゃるおつもり？園崎美音さん。
I did get a little scared, but I couldn't stop myself. I could save Satoshi-kun if I revealed my true identity. I was aware of the risk. Grandma would certainly capture me if I revealed it. I didn't think of the consequences after that.
っていうか、私ミオンじゃないですし。だからもともと綿流しになんか行ってません。
あ？
サトシ君とは綿流しの晩は沖宮のファミレスでずっとおしゃべりしてました。エンジェルモートって店ですので、どうぞ店長にも確認を取ってください。
Oishi was still smirking, but he apparently felt
あん
confused.
た何を言ってるの？あんたミオンじゃないなら誰なわけ？
園崎シオンです。ミオンの双子の妹です。初めてお会いしますね。こんにちは。
Oishi looked perplexed, like he didn't believe what I'd said. He frowned.
園崎美音さんに双子の妹がいたなんて、あんた大人をからかってんの？
からかってなんかないですよ。どうぞ戸籍でも何でも調べてみてください。それともお姉を呼んで二人で並んでみせれば信じます？
All the cops look bewildered
園
now.
崎シオンさん？
はい。シオンですが、何？
あんたにもちょっと来てもらってもいいですかね。あんたが園崎シオンさんで北条さんと一緒におられたって言うんなら、あんたにも話を聞かせてもらいたいもんです。
Well, wouldn't this be so easy for the cops to find out she's lying? They just fucking put them in separate rooms and ask them what they did individually. And if their fucking stories don't line up, well, they're clearly lying. Like, it's just that easy.
望むところです。お手柔らかによろしくお願いいたします。
The cops gathered at their car and started discussing something. Looked like they never expected this to happen. I hope to be able to fake Satoshi-kun's alibi for at least a little while. Well, there's not much to say. Well, they just be like, okay, what's your order at Angel Mort? What did you guys eat? And if Satoshi-kun says he ate the fucking hamburger, but Shion says she ate the hot dog, it's like, wait a second. The fuck? It shouldn't be too difficult to talk to Sis about this and forge up an alibi together.
サトシ君、何を聞かれてもエンジェルモートで私とおしゃべりをして過ごしていたと言い張ってください。
What the fuck? Why would the cops give them time to talk to each other?
私が何とかしますから。
What are they doing?
何を聞かれてもよく覚えていないとか。サトシ君なら下手なことは言わず黙り込んだ方が無難かもです。
Satoshi-kun wore a startled expression. Though I was telling him something important, he'd apparently decided not to listen.
サトシ君、聞いてます？ここでしっかりしないと刑事たちの思うツボです。
He must have been feeling deceived. No wonder. I just confessed that I wasn't Mion, but her true twin sister. I really had been deceiving him.
怒ってます？
なんで？
騙してて。
Satoshi-kun started laughing. I didn't know why he'd laugh, because he wasn't the type of person who would laugh in order to hide
たま
something.
に教室のミオンと話が食い合わないことがあったから違和感は感じてたんだ。やっとわかったよ。
怒らないでくれるんですか？騙してたこと。
Satoshi-kun looked puzzled. It was like he didn't know whether he should be upset about it or not, or maybe he was only pretending to be that way.
はじめまして。じゃないんだよね。
はい、そうなります。
そっか。シオンってどう書くの？
詩を読むの詩に音でシオンです。
シオン。いい名前だね。
Oh my god, this fucking Riz Lord.
じゃあお二人さん、すみませんが署までご同行願いますかね。粉末でよければコーヒーか紅茶かくらいは選べますよ。
Where is this going? How do we go from this to a random drug addict fucking beating the shit out of? Covered for a murder. Okay, notebook page 29, Chad. This is Shion's tip. Either Satoshi-kun was smart or very lucky. Or maybe it wasn't him. The police found nothing at the crime scene to indicate his involvement in the murder. Yet Satoshi-kun was still the prime suspect. Considering his home environment, he had a strong motive. He had no alibi. The police had everything other than physical evidence. It wasn't surprising that Oishi took a chance. He probably didn't expect me to step in, but what I did was too little to avert his suspicion of Satoshi-kun. Oishi believed that Satoshi-kun did it. He was waiting for Satoshi-kun to fall apart and confess. That's what both Oishi and I were thinking. But that hypothesis was destroyed later on. I'll not talk about it now, but Oishi's theories will be disproven and the police will be thrown into shock. A question comes to mind. That is, who saved Satoshi-kun? I can only think of a possibility that the Sonozaki family invented this culprit. One more can't end here? Lily's getting mad. No, chat, listen. I did tell Lily I'd eat dinner with her today, okay, at a restaurant, alright? We are 8 hours into stream, okay? Tomorrow, we will pick up the next chapter. We are at the meat and potatoes, though. Shit is heating up. Yes, sir. Alright. It's early still? Motherfucker, it's fucking... We're 8 hours in. Alright, who's more important, Lily or your loyal and beautiful chat? I think you're under the misconception, Manje, that Lily was part of chat a long time ago, okay? So, she's double dipping in here, alright? Alright, boys. Why don't you eat dinner with me instead? I hate you. I'm just kidding. Alright. Let's feed the duckies. And we'll be back, chat. Remember, no early streams anymore. We are back to normal schedule. Yes, sir. Happy time. Back to normal streams. Normal stream time. Thank you as well for everybody that have been tuning in the last couple days. Or I guess the last 2 days. Early for the early streams. Anyways, tomorrow we'll be back to normal schedule. Probably not be fucking playing Uma nonstop again. We will obviously go through our normal rotation. We got Frolova coming up. Did I ever react to the Frolova trailer? Didn't someone say there was a Frolova trailer? Was there a Frolova trailer? Oh my god, there was. Nobody linked this to me. There was actually a Resonator Combat Showcase. Damn, literally nobody linked it. That's crazy. No, react tomorrow with the trailer? You think I should do a double react with the trailer tomorrow? Yeah? Alright, sure. Why not? Alright, anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Who's live? Anybody playing Uma Musume? Pretty Dobby. Oh, Lakari's playing it. Send you guys over to Lakari. See y'all tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye. Watch the clip, Fob.
What the fuck does being free to play have anything to do with getting a 3-star spark or not, retard?
He's not wrong.
Oh my god.
Yo, tell Lakari I got a 3-star spark today.
Hey, I don't think I want to be associated with Uma Musume players at this point.
Take that back.
No, I'm not gonna take it back.